How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into another episode of NAISB. Carly Fitzer, great midweek action. Big week for NAI softball. Did some really cool things. Let's talk about your week. Hey, let's talk a little bit about personal life. Apparently, on podcast supposed to do that, not just talk about whatever. But hey, I don't know. I got something interesting that's happened this week.
Okay.
So, as you all know, I live in the wonderful state of Florida. Love it. I love it down here. I truly do. However, there are some downsides. We got some big animals. We got big animals in this state. We have big reptiles specifically. We got about a 7 foot gator. Is that about right, Seth? 6, 7 foot. We'll call it seven. About a 7 foot gator. We'll call it seven. He's a big one. And he has moved in a little pond, not about the size of it's about the size of a 2 bedroom apartment. So not a very big pond for that big of a gator, but he's moved in there and it's right in front of the apartment complex. We could probably go mobile right now if we wanted to, and I'd introduce y'all to chompers. Now y'all
Dude,
know
that would
me.
be so funny.
Hey, now me and my boy Coop, we walked down to him and we got close. We got close. Let me pull up the. I mean, hold on. I'll pull. Check this guy out. This way. Hey, by the way,
Okay.
subscribe. Check out the YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube. He's a he's a
Oh
good
my
size one.
God.
He's a good sized lizard. He's a good sized lizard.
Dude, you should have touched him.
We tried to. He swam off. He wasn't. He didn't want that action. Coop
Mean
was
about
going.
it.
He was going to give him a little tail tap, a little tail
Mm.
tap. But yeah, I don't because it's like we like to take walks and look. Lived in the same apartment for a couple of years now. It was a small ones have been in there like 2, 3 foot. Those are cute. What are they gonna do? What are you gonna do? You kick them. Get out of the way. Can't kick that guy. Can't kick that guy. You're gonna be wearing the wrong kind of crock on your foot if you try to kick the old chompers. But yeah, we got to do something about that. How about you? You've been coaching, doing a little coaching.
A little bit of lessons. Yeah, I picked up a little bit of lessons. I couldn't stay away. Right now I'm kind of trying to get my name out there, so we're doing a little bit of a free lesson handout.
Let's
A
go.
lot of youngins that are kind of figuring out the game, but I will say what was it yesterday? I had a little 10-year-old, not little actually. Girl looked like she was about 13,
Oh,
low key jacked. Yeah.
nice.
She could swing it. I was thoroughly impressed.
Nice. Just one of those like young kids, just kind of, so you're just born with something sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes you just
yeah. It
got it.
was it was one of those where um like when you get 10-year-olds, you don't know what you're gonna get.
Sure.
You're gonna get a kid that's just there because
Sure.
fun, right? I hats off to her, very coachable.
Love that.
Um, just fun.
No, I have to get
I
already,
appreciate I
sure
appreciate
that,
that.
sure there's coaches like, say the name. Say the name. We'll start recruiting. I don't know. 10 might be crazy. I've seen like a baby Gronk or those. I don't know if those are. Yeah, that's a
Dude,
different part of
speaking
the
of
internet.
Gronk,
We're on a totally different part of the internet. That
speaking of Gronk, did you see his first pitch?
well, like real Gronkowski.
Yeah.
No, is this recent?
Yeah.
No,
I
I
think it was
didn't.
this week.
No, I didn't. I missed it.
Dude, went into the windup, Gronk spiked.
Oh, that's nice. I think an underrated part of history in sports, he dented the Lombardi Trophy. Like he at the Red Sox game, he like stuck it out like a bunt and then didn't pull it back in time, and the baseball hit it and it dented the trophy. Underrated
Yep.
part, but all right,
Yep.
let's uh let's talk some NAI softball. A lot to get into.
Get into
Top
it.
25. Top 25. We'll take a brief look at it. I'm interested to see how much longer we go in an AI softball before we get some sort of rating system. Kind of like Bo Chip with an AI baseball. Good example. No, I'm pretty sure soccer, football, there's other ones that have. metrics that are just number generated. I know there's nothing out there that's like concrete, but you look at some of them, um, kind of like the Massey rating or something like that, and then there are some it's like no, no, can't do that. But there are others that make some sense. I mean, I'm not going to go into too many details. I don't want we'll share some opinions, but let's go about it the right way. So right now, looking at this top 25, Carly, I think it's a solid one. I'll say
I
this. I
think
think the 25 best teams are in the top 25. So we'll start there.
yeah.
Um, I agree with all 25 names. These are the 25 best teams in AI softball right now. I'm pretty cool with that. Going through it. So let's just start 25 and go down. So first off, Ottawa drops out of the top 25. Vanguard, they moved down from 22 to 25. Middle Georgia State coming in at 24. Coastal Georgia at 22. All three of those teams dropping a few spots. Reinhardt comes in tied at 22 with Coastal Georgia. So obviously tie, same amount of votes. They each had 159 votes, just like Benedictine and College of Idaho, both coming in tied at 20 with 204 votes. And for the first time in program history, I do believe. And let me pull out my Sun Conference card, ladies and gentlemen. How about them St. Thomas Bobcats? You just call a schedule's a schedule, and they have won just about every game on that schedule. They are 31-4, won a big conference series, got another one coming up. They play Weber this weekend, and as things are kind of shaping up the Sun Conference, we talked about it last episode. Could be a big date. Top 25 matchup in Miami Gardens Senior Day. Our boy Manny Burrows on the call for a chance to win the Sun Conference regular season against Coastal Georgia. That could be a lot of fun. But St. Thomas, shout out Coach JC, got things rolling for the Bobcats. William Carey comes in at 18. A little surprised. This is my first one where I was like, I could have seen William Carey maybe being right there after College of Idaho, maybe even after Reinhardt at 30-12. Not again, I think they're a solid team. I think they're top 25. No doubt about that. We've talked a lot about them. I love that team. And if you have trouble with lefties, it's a lineup didn't get you. But 30-12 after those losses to Tennessee Southern, lost one to Bruton Parker. I was surprised to see they stayed at 18. No, they had some good wins mixed in there. Some top 25 wins. No, they beat Middle Georgia State. I think Mobile also in there. But anyways, Indiana Wesleyan drops one spot to number 17. Madonna moves up to 16. Good to see them moving up. Are there 15 teams in the country better than Madonna Crusaders? I don't know, Carly, are there? In your opinion, not in the rankings, in your opinion, are there 15 teams that you put on a field right now and think Madonna's the underdog in this game? Neutral site.
No, I think they deserve a little bit more credit than what they've gotten.
Sure. I could agree with that. Now, their schedule, is it the strongest? No. But
They've still proved it.
they passed the eye test.
Yes.
Mobile, 26-11, comes in at number 15. Another team, they did drop one spot. Could have seen them a couple more, not too much further. I think they would have stayed north in front of 20, but maybe a couple more spots. About 15 is good. Hope International drops to 14. Southern Oregon at 13, dropping from 10. This one was a little surprising. I thought they would have stayed in the top 10. Didn't see them dropping out, but hey, you want to give a team that's won 3 of the last 4 red banners a little fuel in the fire before they go play in their 2
I
biggest
was just gonna
weekends
say
of the
that.
year, and then they get a
Yeah.
little momentum going and they start swinging the bat.
Don't fire them up.
I don't know. We'll see. We're going to talk a lot more about Southern Oregon later in the weekend preview. Oh crap, Carly, we forgot something. Yeah, by the way, so sorry, I should have said this right at the beginning. Started talking about a daggum alligator, but we do have an interview in this episode. It's Reinhardt's Coach Becca Hewitt and Emily Loveless. Might go throw that in right at the beginning, anyways. A little editing, we'll see. But yeah, great interview. Super excited, Carly. Wish you were there for it. Phenomenal, but it's a great one. Get three of us get to talk. Emily Loveless, phenomenal career. Yeah, just reached over 200 RBIs in her career recently. Looking at her stats, so good stuff there. Where are we at? Number 12,
Number
Midland.
12.
Nice. High five. Shout out the Warriors. Not under the radar. Eastern Oregon coming in at number 11. Georgia Gwinnett at number 12.
10,
At number 10. At number 10. What did I say?
12.
No, I was thinking about Midland still. Eastern Oregon, one of the bigger movers from 15 to 11. Georgia Gwinnett drops one spot from 9 to 10. Um, yeah, I think Southern Oregon should have held on that number 10 spot. Um, you know, my opinion, my 2 cents. Not saying Georgia Gwinnett's not a great team. Lord knows they can.
We
Georgia
know what they
Gwinnett, yeah, yeah, they know they can go win some ball games real quick on you. They got the ability. They got the pitching. Their bats can get hot. We saw their best be able to get hot against some decent pitching this weekend. We'll talk more about that here in just a minute. Northwestern moves up to number 9. Shout out Red Raid. Had a little bit of a scare in that second Dordt game. They had a tornado warning go on. I watched
Uh-huh.
yeah, that was crazy. Crazy stuff there. Crazy stuff in that series. We'll actually talk more about that one here in just a minute. Marion from 7 to 8. So they flip flop with Jessup at number 7. Marion's 31 and 7. I tell you, I don't. Crossroads is weird. Crossroads is so Marion and both Indiana and Wesleyan, they dropped one spot. So they kind of held on to like where like you drop one spot, who cares, honestly. But I thought both of those could have dropped a little bit more just from what happened in the Crossroads. But you seeing the Crossroads getting a lot more respect, which I'm all for. They're definitely showing like these losses Grace getting wins against them, Goshen, Huntington, you know, only dropped one spot. And then top 6 after Jessup comes in at 7. USAO stays at 6. Oregon Tech and Cumberland's flip flop. OIT at 5. Cumberland's at 4. Central Methodist 3. Oklahoma City 2. Our Lady of the Lake 1. Nothing changes there. So let's just get. Well, first off, Carly, any thoughts? Any other thoughts about the top 25? And then we'll talk about the receiving votes here in just a sec.
No, let's hit the receiving votes.
All right. Just looking at the receiving votes, wanted to have a fun question. Something we both have experience with. Weber 2 years ago, Midland last year, finished the year receiving votes, ended up in Columbus. Carly, you look at the receiving votes. Look at these teams. Who would you take? Who would you take as right now? And I know we got another one to go, but let's play devil's advocate right now. Just looking at these receiving votes teams, who could be that team? Come in as a 2 seed, maybe a 3 seed somewhere, and end up in Columbus.
I got my money on Mobap. Mobap.
Why is
Yeah.
that?
12 and 2 in conference, 27 and 9 overall. I'm gonna start with their pitching. Brooklyn Fisher having a phenomenal year. She's got a 1.12 ERA, 100 innings pitched. She's thrown 105 strikeouts. And opponents are batting just a 175 against her.
Getting it done with the bat too, yeah.
Getting it done with the bat. She's hitting 446, 38 RBIs, 8 home runs. Getting it done on both ends. Then you look at some of their other girls in the lineup. Jenna Akes and Megan Hager, both threats on the bases. Megan with 17 steals, Jenna with 16. They got 5 girls hitting over 350. I mean, they have the recipe to do just about anything. Don't let them get hot.
Don't let them get hot. They could do it. Fun conference. No, that one's going to be real interesting down the stretch. But I do think when it gets conference tournament time, I think Mobap's probably win that AMC, and we'll see what happens from there. For me, well, Paul Hunt joked about this recently when he came on, but I know they just lost to Weber. They lost one to Weber. I'm getting close to drinking that Southeastern Fire Kool-Aid again. Now they got big ones against Coastal Georgia this weekend, which will give me a more definitive answer on this. But even still, dude, they got talk about pitching wise, Autumn Hunter, Claire Seckinger. I mean, two of the more seasoned postseason pitchers in the last couple of years. And then I think Eden Playa is going to be a player in the postseason and a big, big card for Kayla Watkins because while Claire and Autumn, when they're on, they're special and they can shut you down. No doubt about it. Eden's just that little tick different. Like I'm sure you can think of good pitchers you faced, Carly, in the G Pack that maybe even though you've seen them for a little bit and they're really good, or because you've seen them for a little bit, they're really good, but you know kind of what's coming.
Yeah.
And just say for this sake of the argument, they're both righties. Well, then what happens when you go and get a lefty throwing different, way different, that's really efficient? I mean, as a freshman's got an ERA sitting right at one flat, spinning some nasty off speed stuff in the bottom of the zone. I don't, I'm just
God.
that's really hard to prepare for. And if they go back and forth with it, which I could see just track record looking at the World Series 2 years ago with Autumn and Claire, kind of Autumn would pitch the beginning and then Claire would go. And then you look offensively, which is always what you want to that kind of sticks out with Southeastern. I mean, heck, Claire had a no hitter through seven, and Southeastern didn't score in the top of the eighth. Then I mean, shout out Taylor Thomas, phenomenal stuff from our sophomore rank Sun Conference Freshman of the Year. But we got one in the bottom of the eighth. I mean, two singles with the runner on second to start the bottom of the eighth, and we won. It was awesome, great stuff for Weber. But even still, I mean, you saw what Claire had there. So it's the offense. Like, what happens with the offense for Southeastern? Well, if they get on in the top of the lineup, very scary with Chapel, who's batting like 510, 520 in conference play. Uh, Probably the favorite to win Sun Conference Player of the Year, her and Bryce Peacock. A lot of that could be determined this weekend, honestly. But Riley Sanders right back to now. She's not going to have a 74 stolen base year like she had her freshman year, but she's sitting something like 36 for 36. Pretty good. Good numbers. Take that. And then they've got some sophomores starting to step up, like Lauren Seckinger starting to have some good ABs. Know you got a dangerous bat with Leah Gonzalez playing a really good first base. Then McKinney, the right fielder, Riley, has got 13, 14 doubles off top of my head, something like that. She's starting to add some pop right there in the three hole. And I don't know. I mean, I don't have Southeastern stats right here, but again, I mean, just look. I think they're stolen base numbers. Y'all should look them up. But Carly, I think they're like 140 for 130, 34 or something like that, somewhere in that
Good
ballpark.
God, man.
Do what?
Good God, man.
Gee. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I hear that, you see that, and like, look, if you've got great defense and you're taking everything away and they're not able to get on and they can't turn it over, and another thing uh you got Ella Brooks in the 9 hole that's batting like 430 that's turning the lineup over. It'll be interesting. I'll say that.
Yeah.
They're a team where you can see if things get hot, especially their power hitters, their gap finders. If they get hot, you see why it's easy to drink that Southeastern Kool-Aid sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it now.
One other team I'd like to throw in there, I like Evangel, as
Yeah.
one that's not one of the top receiving votes, you could say. Got some great pitching. Both the Maddies, great pitchers around that too. Got some speed. They're a team I'd like to watch. I mean, they're probably about to win the KCAC regular season. All they got to do is win out. All right,
Yeah.
let's get into this midweek recap. this is arguably could have been what we started with, but wanting to get the top 25 talk out of the way already. Carly, this was this wasn't an upset. This is just the
No.
NAIA standing on business. And Oklahoma
Yeah.
City,
Represent.
let's go. Let's go. Number two team in the country, led by the legend himself, Phil McSpadden, take two over Rogers State. Game one, 5-4. It was scoreless through 4 innings. Then in the fifth, Caitlin Jones got her RBI on a triple to right to make it a 1-0 ball game. Then Cameron Garvey was walked. Very solid day for her. 2 for 2. Got on base a couple times on a free pass. Bailey Lux would then score Jones on a sacrifice fly. That's RBI number 50. That's 2 quarters, 50 cents. It's a lot of ribeye steaks on the grill. That's a cookout. That's a good cookout. And then Shelby puts up another 0 in the bottom of the fifth. Amy Carbaugh sent one out to make it a 3-0 ball game. Look, we said last week, Roger State, they got a little pop.
Yeah.
They can hit the ball out every now and they got some bats, and then they finally got one off of Shelby, who was spinning, did spin a phenomenal softball.
Absolutely.
Yep. Gave up a solo shot in the sixth. Jones, another big knock to cap off her 3-for-4 night, a home run shy of the cycle with a big double in the top of the seventh. Garvey reached the tough way on a hit by pitch. And then Lux would single to load up the bases. Had a random thought. How much does a softball weigh? You know off the top of your head? We'll put
No.
we'll put, we'll put a pin in that.
That sounds like a question for like a pitcher or something.
I heard it's over 5. You know where I'm going with this, Seth. Yeah, so great thing. I've heard some Weber baseball players say when like somebody on the team gets hit by a pitch, 5 ounces, you're good, bud. Something like that.
Oh, okay.
It's only 5 ounces. It's a good one. It's a good one. Need to find out what that is from for a softball. Maybe something we should. I don't know. I don't know.
Eh.
Emerson Herron. We're going to talk more about her in here just a minute. But she would draw a bases loaded walk, and then Tara Horner would score Garvey, making it 5-1. Comfortable lead, but 21st out's always the toughest one to get, isn't that right, Carly?
Yeah.
Cougs
Yeah.
would Cougs would put up a 3 spot in the seventh to make things interesting, but Shelby would get that 21st out to make it a 5-4 win. If you thought the heart rate would go down, it would not. A little bit different this go around. Great pitchers duel, but Emerson Herron, her complete game, 3 hit shutout. She now is 18-0 with a .89 ERA this season. Amy Carbaugh would get the RBI single in the second, so it stayed a 1-0 ball game pretty much the entire way. That's crazy. Emerson said, "That's it. Just let me do my thing." You know, I kind of like Emerson, kind of like Tally in the sense of could definitely be in talks for pitcher of the year.
Yeah.
Strikeout numbers aren't going to wow you, aren't going to just blow your mind, but still, you can't argue. You can't argue with those numbers. 18-0, .89. I'll take it.
No, you can't put up a fight against that.
Yeah, and once again, great for the league, great for the brand.
I tip my cap.
Yeah, you said it, Carly. I mean, these are opportunities that come few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
Like not every day you get to have a top 10 matchup. Like, I know in the baseball world we had Southeastern play U Tampa earlier in the year. And having this softball awesome stuff, something I'd love to see more of. Like I tell you, I don't this one I probably won't happen, but you know, they're kind of close. And I may regret if this happened because North Georgia is nasty. That is a really good Division II softball team, just won the national championship. But I wouldn't mind seeing them go up to like this year, go up to Williamsburg. I would say Georgia Gwinnett, but I think right now, I think North Georgia is. I think like Cumberland's right now, just
Yeah.
given. I mean, you know, talk about just
Hey, their
best
bats
chance.
are hot.
Well, I'm just talking about like just a team in that region that could possibly be the number one team in D2. Not saying that, obviously in that game, if Annalise pitched, I think definitely that could.
Yeah.
Good, but that'd be cool. But either way, again, congratulations, Oklahoma City. Phenomenal, phenomenal stuff. And just about one of the last sweeps we're about to talk about because we're about to go to Split City, USA, because we had a whole lot of splits in the
Ew.
midweek and the NAIA action. We'll go out to the GPAC, Carly Fitzer, Dort in the Dome
Yeah. In the
out one.
dome. So game one goes to Northwestern. Not really a lot happening there. Kate Kralik got the win. She improves to 14-1 on the year. Through five, had 3 hits, 4 strikeouts. Cameron Etherington can also do it with in the circle, but 2 for 3, 2 runs and a double. Chloe Gallegos 2 for 3, 2 RBI double and a run. And then Ashton Billings and Maddie Kvatek, they record the other 2 RBIs. Yeah, like I said, not really much cooking in that game. Game two is where it's at. Dort came back. Well, they didn't come back. They came back ready for game two. A
And then had to
little bit back
stop
and
for
forth.
tornado warning.
They did. They did. Yeah, it was dicey here in uh, Nebraska and Iowa.
A lot of games got canceled.
Dude, the Dominator, like the Storm Chaser people, they were in Iowa.
Know what? Well, makes sense. Good spot. Good spot.
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
that's like kind of wanting to go alligator hunting in Florida. It makes sense.
Yeah. I was watching their live stream over my lunch. I'm a sucker for tornadoes.
I I tell you what you would enjoy down here. A couple years ago, we had one in pretty good chance we might have one this kind of late summer into the fall. Hurricane parties. They're fun down here.
Tell me.
There are some videos of me out there during the Seth, what was that hurricane a couple years ago we had to evacuate for? Mike? Huh? Dorian? I don't know. One of the hurricanes. We had too many hurricanes down here. Gators and hurricanes. Big reptiles and hurricanes. I'll bring up another thing about reptiles here in just a minute. Get an Animal Planet on this episode. But yeah, no. There's some good videos of being out in some hefty wind, about some nice ones. But
Anyway.
Kaiser University, West Palm Beach, great spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hundreds of iguanas on that campus.
Get out.
Hundreds, all over the place,
Dude.
all over, all
I'm
over the
about
place. Like,
I'm about it.
yeah, I feel like that's something I should have said. Like maybe first episode ever of like, hey, so no, I'm gonna tell y'all about Saba. Let me tell y'all what Kaiser's got. Yeah, a couple years ago, when my first year at Weber, we played at Kaiser, and I remember pulling up on the charter bus, and it was like
Dude,
everywhere.
you should have snatched one.
Ah, ah.
Eh.
I'll go back down there. I'll go back down there. I'll go back down there.
All right. All
All
right.
right. So yeah,
Anyways.
they take game two, 4-2.
Yeah, game
No.
two, Dort takes it. They earn the split. Cameron Etherington records the first RBI of the game. Bunt single in the top of the third.
Nice.
Abby Pate in the top of the fourth. She gets a sac fly. Northwestern make it 2-0. Dort responds in the bottom of the fourth. 2 RBI double from Bryn Teranga. They'd continue their scoring in the fifth. Carly Olson has a bunt single. She later scores on a catcher error. And that was all she wrote. 4-2 Dort. Bailey Sample got the win. She allowed 5 hits, just 2 earned runs. And Jaden Faber would get the save, allowing 2 hits. So we got Northwestern and Midland tied at 1, and Dort and Morningside tied at 2.
Nice. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be coming down exactly what you want. Northwestern
Yep,
versus Midland right there at the end
it
for the
really
regular
is.
season.
It's a
Love it.
great way to end it.
We had a good non-conference split up in the Peach State with Coastal Georgia and Georgia Gwinnett, and I mean, as split as you can get. 6-1 ball games. First one going to the Mariners. Bryce Peacock, a one-hitter, 5 strikeouts. She would help her own calls, starting a 6-run fourth inning. Oppo Taco, great home run. She her when she gets a hold of one, she's fun. She's fun to watch. You'd like her swing. I need to send you some videos of
Yeah.
Bryce's swing. You as a former home run hitter yourself, you would like it. Yeah, pretty much just a big inning there for the Mariners. And then Bryce being Bryce in the circle. Georgia Gwinnett will get one, but like I said, 6-1 win for Coastal. GGC. They would bounce right back game two, get a big road win, 6-1, and at least 7 strikeouts. Gave up 8 hits. Interesting note: 4 freshmen got 5 hits for Coastal Georgia. Riley Mills had 2 hits.
Okay.
Just yet something that and it's not, honestly, like I wasn't like, oh, I noticed that it was we had on Sarah and Bryce on Suncast ahead of the Southeastern series this weekend, and she brought that up, and it's like it's that time of the year, and you all, this is something coaches listening, you all know it's that time of the year where freshmen start becoming sophomores.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's an interesting note for Coastal Georgia. Now I think their pitching is still something to think about after Bryce, because like we saw in this game, Riley Mills kind of got hit a little bit, but she stuck with it. I mean, it was 2-1 ball game in the 6th inning, but then the Grizz, this is where the Grizz do good stuff, string some hits together, get stuff all up and down the lineup. Kayla Good had a big had a big knock, her second RBI base hit of the game. Then Inalaki, 3 hits, RBI as well. They took the game 6-1. Guys, I really wish. I almost feel like I'm doing a disservice, but I'm just letting y'all know I don't know what's going to happen down here in the Sun Conference. Like it's going to be wild. That's the best I give you. Like I'd love to be able to just pinpoint and be like, hey, Sun Conference is going to be this. It's going to do it. This is going to be the team. This is going to how it's going to go. Like last year. Last year, Coastal and Southeastern. That was it. And that's how it got. That's how it was in the regular season. That's how it was in the tournament. St. Thomas, they're the top team technically in the conference right now. I would say Southeastern at their best is probably the best. I'd say uh, just some individual. I'd say Coastal's got it. You got Florida Memorial who can mess around. I'm telling you, I think the Crossroads is the most fluid, wild, crazy conference right now. Anybody can win that tournament. We'll see with pitching depth. I think pitching depth, that's where you may get some separation. But down here in the sun, it's gonna be fun. Promise that. All right. Carly.
Moving on. So sorry.
Oh no, it is late. It is 11:17 Eastern time. This is the latest we've recorded. The yapping, the rambling has been late nightish. We'll say that, but we'll move on. Crossroads, Goshen, Iwu.
Goshen, another split here in our recap here. Goshen takes game one, 5-2. 5 different players for Goshen recording an RBI. Mackenzie Richardson, she was 2 for 4, had an RBI. RBIs from Allison Catenacci, Olivia Gibson, and Shay Van Scoter, 2 for 4, RBI, double, and a home run. Mackenzie, nope. Esme Pico, complete game, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts. Goshen gets the win, 5-2. Iwu bounces back game two. Low offensive, low
Low
less of an
scorings.
offensive game. Less of an offensive game. Both teams record just 3 hits. Morgan Yeater, RBI walk. Zoe Fountain, RBI. Chloe Tragiser, 1 for 2 with an RBI. And that's all she wrote. Elena Thomas had the complete game. She had 3 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. She moves to 5-2 on the year. And oh my God.
Slays.
Iwu gets out of it with a split.
Yeah, this conference. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like everybody's just like just trading blows, trading
Yeah.
blows, trading blows. It's good. It's gonna be a fun one. It's been a fun one. All right, Brunel and Johnson, a little AAC action up there at the top. Top, obviously, we're gonna be talking a lot of AAC softball with Coach Hewitt and Emily here in just a little bit. But Johnson took the first game 4-3. Madison Pritchard and Sarah Shaw were locked to a pitcher's duel until the bottom of the fifth inning. Three straight singles would loaded up for the Royals. Then Autumn K. Wood RBI ground out to break up the tie. Ashley Duke had the big night with a single, collecting her second and third RBIs of the day. Charlotte Smith would get a 2 RBI double for Brunel to make things interesting, but Pritchard was able to hold on for the 4-3 lead. Game two, Brunel jumped out. I was actually, yeah, Brunel got it back. 9-3. Johnson jumped out in front. 3-1 in the first, but 2 RBI double from Ava Moon and Abigail Brown opened the game up with the bases clearing 3 RBI double. Wait, no, I got that mixed up.
No,
Sorry.
you
No, I wrote this down in my notes, but I read it again. I'm like, that's incorrect. Ava Moon and Abigail Brown, they each had 2 RBI doubles. And then in the seventh, Dayton Power had a 3 RBI double, open it up, 9-3 win. Little split there. Moving on, Bellevue, Mid-Am Naz. I think we kind of found out in this one. Heart of America, top to bottom.
legit.
Yeah, they're right up there. Cascade has flexed its muscle and it's showing right here at the end of the season. Hey, look what we're about to do and what we got with 4 top 20 teams. But Heart of America, big for Mid-Am Naz, big non-conference wins. Probably the team that's probably going to win the North Star again in Bellevue, who's a good team.
Yeah.
But Mid-Am Naz flexed the muscles. A couple big wins for them, Carly.
Yeah, defending the home turf. They take game one, 2-0. They score early in the first. Allie Van Laker has a single. She was 2 for 3 in this game. They'd score again in the third. NAIA Brown had a double to left. She was also 2 for 3 that game. Cordelia Hanger, she would record 2 hits in the game, score a run. And the Pioneers would out hit the Bruins 8-2. Michaela Jonico got the complete game win, 2 hits, 13 strikeouts. But that's not all she wrote. Pioneers stayed hot with the bats. They out hit the Bruins 16-6 in game two. They win at 6-1. Cordelia Hanger stays hot again, 4 for 4, 3 runs. Right behind her, Des Duncan does the same. She goes 4 for 4, 3 RBIs and a double. Kelly Stokes, 2 for 4 and an RBI. Nia Brown records a 2 RBI single. Abby Schultz, 3 for 4 and a run. And Grace Berlage with the win, 5-0 or 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, and 6 Ks.
Just before we go into the midweek one game, I kind of sort of had to on and off both games that I watched today. Roosevelt, Saint Xavier. First one started off 1-1. Sierra Norman and Layla Summers each gave up a run in the first inning, but then they settled in. They each put up 5 straight goose eggs. And then Norman gave up a leadoff single, but the Lakers were able to get they were able to get 3 outs in the top of the seventh. The next half inning, Athena Pomel Penn led off with a double and then scored on an Anasia Lozado single, walk it off. St. Xavier would bounce back game two, win it 12-4. Alexis Reese got started with a 3-run shot in the first, solid. But the Lakers, this is a fun game. This is a fun one. This is kind of just momentum back and forth because Roosevelt Lakers would tie it up in the fourth with a couple of 2-run shots from Reynolds and Lozado. But Cougs put up 3 in the fourth, put up 5 more in the fifth, and then next thing you know, run rule win, 12-4, that easy. Let's burn through some of these real quick. Just looking at the weekend preview, want to get y'all over to the interview. Marion, Spring Arbor, big one out there in the Crossroads. Looking at Marion, they they got a lot of good bats, obviously, that they can go win at Savannah. Both Abbeys, great Grace. I know they're batting all at 400 or right around it. Marion won the last two in March, but Spring Arbor, they got some pop. Grace Lentz, Summer Ambler, Maddie Thrush having good years, and of course Emily Hamp, one of the top two-way players in NAIA softball. Just came off a four-hit performance against Huntington's. Got her ERA south of 2 and batting 568, pretty solid. I'll tell you another one really excited for College of Idaho. College of Idaho, Southern Oregon is going to rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Jordan Henderson's been red hot for the Raiders, batting 453, 6 home runs, 13 doubles. Look, you knew someone like Piper Love was going to step up in that catching role. That it was going to be great. Has been great. But Jordan Henderson too. In that lineup has stepped up big for Southern Oregon. Same with Haley Seva has had a great year as well, batting 408, 19 extra base hits, three triples. And of course in the circle, Katie Machado. Really interested to see what see what happens with College of Idaho. This is a big series for them after what happened against Eastern Oregon, where they lost three. Possibly could have won that fourth game. We'll never know, but they'll get 4 shots at Southern Oregon. No, obviously Annie Polster. Really excited to see Polster versus Machado. That's going to be a great pitching matchup with some great bats. Obviously for the Yotes led by Lolo Walker. Burn through a couple more of these. Southeastern Coast of Georgia. I already talked a lot about those schools, but yeah, those are all games on Friday. By the way, let me tell you, 2 o'clock Central Time, Marion, Spring Arbor. 1 o'clock Central Time, Southern Oregon, College of Idaho, and 3 o'clock Central Time for Southeastern Coastal. On Saturday, big one. How about IWU and Marion starting off at noon, Carly?
Yeah. We know about Marion. We just talked about him, but IWU. I think the one that I'm keeping my eye on, Morgan Yeater, 54 of 55 on the bases for stolen. Yeah. Road runner out there. Hitting 381. Briley Bilger, big pop in her bat. She's hitting 339, 16 home runs, and 51 RBIs. But Morgan Yeater's not alone on the bases. They got Zoe Fountain, another threat, 26 stolen bases, hitting 386. And then leading the way in the circle, Alyssa Wagner has a 2.7 ERA in 132 and a third innings pitch. She's got 81 strikeouts. She's 17-6 on the year. Not far behind her, Elena Thomas, also throwing 2.7 in just 57 innings pitched, but 5-0 on the year as well.
Got a big one out in the heart on Saturday. Benedictine and Grandview. Benedictine, this is a bit Grandview can do a lot to determine how this last weekend's about to look. Because they start off with Benedictine. We talked about it last week. Last episode on Monday with the conferences with Benedictine with 3 conference losses. They obviously need to win out, and then CMU. They have not lost a heart game. Grandview plays both, starting off with Benedictine. No, then we talked a ton about them. No, Bailey Canor having a great year. Abby Pressgrove having a great year, and of course Claire Heights batting like 450 with the 5-6 home run. Solid.
Yeah.
We'll take it. Of course, Bailey Selvage spinning. I can't wait. Bailey Selvage versus Jessica Waljasper. That's gonna be one of the top pitching matchups for sure this year. But yeah, really excited for that one. Let's start let's burn through these a little bit. St. Xavier, Trinity Christian, big one in the Chicago land on Saturday. 12 Central first pitch, 1 o'clock, by the way, for that Benedictine Grandview game. Cap it off Sunday, just talked about CMU Grandview, 1 o'clock, big one. Aquinas, Indiana Tech. Big one as far as who can be number 2 in the WAC. Aquinas in Indiana Tech. I got a feeling Madonna's probably going to be number 1 heading into that conference tournament at this point. After getting the 2 wins over the Fighting Saints, we'll see how they bounce back in a big one against Indiana Tech. I think they got some games before that, but still, that'd be a big test for them. And obviously, Indiana Tech, Coach Z and company get things going. Carly, wish you were joining us for this interview, man.
I do, but I hear it's really good stuff. So
It'll be good. It'll be good. Yeah. So how about y'all find out? Find out for yourselves. We'll kick it over now to the head coach of the Reinhardt Eagles, Becca Hewitt, and longtime veteran shortstop Emily Loveless. Okay, we welcome on two very special guests. Y'all know I'm a Georgia guy, so we got a couple of Georgia people on. Coach Becca Hewitt and Emily Loveless of Reinhardt University. Ladies, how's it going?
Doing good. Good.
Awesome, awesome. Well, hey, like I said, two Georgia softball players down to it. We're going to talk a lot about some Georgia softball, some AAC softball, some Eagles softball. Coach, want to ask you year one for you and Waleska. Pretty good start, pretty solid start for y'all. Stayed in the top 25 pretty much all year and all the rankings still there now. What was your message to the team? Knowing you had a very talented group, a lot first year coaches, maybe you're going into a rebuild process or you lose a lot of seniors or a lot of people transfer out. That wasn't the case for you. You retained a lot of great players like Emily right there next to you. So what was your message to the team coming in?
I mean, like you said, it wasn't a rebuilding program like usually new coaches have to do. So I was pretty excited, but my biggest thing was just don't come in and mess them up. Like they had a great year, return the starting lineup. So it was kind of come in and see what they do, like how they found success and build off of that. Bring my experience, bring my knowledge, and see how we can grow together and build together and build off of last year. And so it was kind of getting to know each other and getting to see what they did to win and how we can make it better.
Well, Emily, I got to ask you, when did you know senior year? I know that's a weird time to get a new coach in, but when did you know Reinhardt made the right decision bringing in Coach Hewitt?
So we actually had a meeting at the beginning of the year, and she emphasized that our main goal this season and her main goal for us was to win. As she said earlier, we returned pretty much everybody, our whole starting lineup. So we had everything in our power to get regular season champions again, get tournament champions this year, make it past the first round this year, make it to Columbus and do well in Columbus. So she emphasized that we have what it takes to be a team to make it to Columbus. So that was our goal at the start of the year. And she's emphasized that throughout the year is just play our game and do our thing and just win. And that's been our number one goal all year.
You've won a lot in your career at Reinhardt, won a lot in your senior year. But Emily, take us through your softball journey. Many people have kept up with the NAIA softball over the last 5 years. So you're like me, one of the few players left that started off in 2019.
Yeah.
Right there with you. I'm officially retired now. No more.
Yeah.
No more. I got nothing left in the right leg. But tell us about your softball journey, how you ended up in Reinhardt, and just a little bit about your time there.
So I'm pretty local. I'm about an hour away. I'm from Rockmart, Georgia. Shout out to Rockmart. But I got recruited pretty early on here. I got started getting recruited here my freshman year and going into my sophomore year. And every other visit that I went on that wasn't Reinhardt, it was always like, okay, well, now it's between this school and Reinhardt and then this school and Reinhardt. So it was always top of my list the entire time. The campus is beautiful. Our field is awesome. So, and we've had a history of good teams and a really good program. So I just was always drawn here. It always felt like the right place. So really glad where I ended up and got here freshman year. COVID hit, got sent home in March. So that kind of sucked because initially we didn't know that we were getting another year of eligibility. So I was like, dang, that's just what I've worked for, wanting to play college softball. We get sent home, but luckily we got that extra year and I'm taking it right now. And I definitely feel old. Coach hears me say that all the time. The shoulder and the knees are feeling it, but it's been really good, been really fun. We've had a lot of adversity over our years at Reinhardt, this core group that we have here, but it's been great. I feel like it's even at times it's been tough. It kind of brought us together. And so our group is really close. And that's part of the reason why I think we're having success is we play for each other and play together. And yeah, it's been really fun. I'm trying not to get too sentimental. So I'm like, don't get sentimental until it's over, unless I'll like cry at every game. So I'm like, just wait until it's over to get sentimental. But it's been great. I love my teammates and it's been really awesome.
I'll tell you from personal experience, it is tough when you start kind of going through it because like we had a game, we had a tough loss against the Cumberland Phoenix this year, and after it was like, God, there's only like 6, 7 of these left. A little bit different for softball. You got more games, but still you start kind of getting those single digits. It does get a little scary. Smell the roses a little bit. I know now I say Weber football. Maybe we weren't competing for a national championship this year. Maybe like I think y'all could, but still, I mean, enjoy it. Get the little wins. I know, obviously, for y'all, you want to get to the AAC tournament, win it this year, get to an opening round. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Coach, I want to ask you. So, before being Emily's coach, coached against her a few times in some non-conference games over at Middle Georgia. What was the scouting report you had up for Emily?
I have a really funny story. I'm telling you, like, Emily is not fun to pitch to. She's not.
Really?
And
really?
At Middle, I mean, we played Reinhardt every year. It's a great competitive series to have. So 2 years ago, we're playing at Middle. We win the first game, close game, and we're winning the second game 4-2, top of 7. They have second and third, 2 outs, and Emily's up. So I look at my catcher. I'm like, hey, the base is open. Let's walk her. Just put it on. Okay. Okay. It first pitch ball, second pitch ball. Someone from our dugout says something to my catcher, and she looks, and I'm like, just stick with the plan. Like, do what we're doing. For some reason, I don't know why, she took it as pitched to her. Y'all know those slow motion scenes in movies where it's just like slow motion? In real life, and still to this day, the second I saw my catcher's knee shift inside, I go, no. And when that ball was pitched, it was just launch. I mean, 5-4, we lose. It was defeating. Sorry.
Emily, that one felt good coming off the bat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. It was beautiful off the bat. It wasn't no pop-up. It was I was heartbroken.
It's got to be a lot better sitting on the dugout or in the dugout wearing gold and navy, seeing her do it for your team now, right?
Right. You're dang right. That's why, hey, everybody probably would put like Emily a 3-4 hole. Nah, she's a leadoff. I will everybody have to feel the stress and anxiety to pitch to Emily like I did.
You don't get a bat, don't get to get into it. Nope. Here you go. Here.
Starting it off.
Coach, I want to ask, after Middle Georgia, you obviously had a great resume there, built up a good college coaching resume. Were there any thoughts of going a different route other than coaching the NAIA after Middle Georgia? And what was about Reinhardt? Like, what made it the right spot? Obviously, we talked about coming in, great roster, and props you able to retain it in this era of college athletics. But what was it about Reinhardt wanting to stay in the NAIA?
I mean, of course, when I first started, like I started at travel ball, JUCO, and then got to NAIA, and I was like, let me keep climbing the ladder. Right. But the more I started like competing in the NAIA, I fell in love. Like I go again. I have friends at the NCAA level. They tell me the pros and cons, and so I'm just like, this level's so much fun. I think these pros really outweigh those. So I'm just like, I want to stay in the NAIA. And then, so, because, middle's going D2. So I was just like, yeah. So there was a couple options, because again, Florida JUCO's not bad. That's not a bad option either. So I had a couple options. I know, right?
Yeah.
So I had a couple options, and one was NAIA or Florida JUCO. So I was like, okay. But then one Saturday, Reinhardt called and just presented itself, and I was just like, oh my gosh. There was just green flag, and it was just wow. And then especially when Jeff and Dew said you're returning everybody from last year, I'm like, okay, let's go. So I mean, it kind of just everything felt right when it presented itself, and I was very excited with all the pros to kind of join the program and come in and not have to rebuild. That's one thing that I kind of am tired of doing. Like, I want to just jump in and have fun. And that's very rare for coaches to do in new programs. So when it presented itself, it just seemed like a perfect fit.
I had a coach. I had someone ask me a couple weeks ago, why do you think NAIA softball is starting to kind of take these bounds and catch up, if you will, air quotes, if you're listening on our podcast or Spotify, to the D2s or the D1s. And I've been thinking about for a little bit because I couldn't really put one answer to it. I think a big reason for it is coaches like you wanting to stay in AI. You look at a lot of long tenured coaches. Just had on Jay Cant, 23 years at Ottawa, obviously. Coach Wallace, Coach McSpadden, Coach Stewart, go on and on and on and on. Coaches have been there 10, 15, 20 years. I think that's a big part of, you build a program, you build a culture, and it's something. Now you're one at Reinhardt, but I'm sure it's something you want to do. And I mean, those coaches have pretty good resumes that they've built up. A few red banners mixed in there, especially out in the Sooner State. But I think that's a big reason for it. And one of those schools just this week, Oklahoma City, just went and beat number 8 in D2, Rogers State, 5-4, 1-0, and some great midweek games out there. And look, I don't really like comparing NAIA D2. I'm not really interested in that. We're here to just highlight NAIA softball and coaches and players like the two of you. But it's like, gosh, we're getting some good stuff. And I don't know. I'll stand on this. I just got real lucky. I was at a D2, went to an NAIA, fell in love with Sun Conference sports, and then fell in love with NAIA softball. I've gotten pretty lucky. But Emily, tell us a little bit more about Eagle softball. Yeah, but just Eagle, being a Reinhardt Eagle. I don't know if there's anybody on the campus that knows it probably better than you. I'm sure you've seen some great games. There's phenomenal teams. Baseball, obviously y'all are doing great. Baseball. So like I said, I covered Sun Conference sports. We were kind of like, Southeastern just lost a series. We haven't talked about this much the last few years, but like that, your football teams all consistently top 25, and now your men's and women's lacrosse teams killing it. So tell us a little bit about the culture of Reinhardt.
So it's really awesome. It's really cool to go to a school where every sport is top of the conference, if not winning conference.
Mm-hmm.
So it really makes it fun to go to games. Shout out both lacrosse teams, #1 in the nation. That's really awesome. Yeah. Baseball's their highest ranking that they've ever been in program history. So that's really awesome. So it's really fun. And our school's really small. So it's like 80% athletes or something like that. Yep. So it's really cool because you have class with all of these different athletes on different teams, and you get to talk about like what's going on and all that type of stuff. So it's really fun, and just to be in like a competitive environment with teams that are all really good makes it really fun to go to games and watch. And we like to go to baseball games. A lot of our girls do, and go to football games and soccer and lacrosse and everything like that. So it's really fun.
Who's the guy that just took the fastball off the face against Southeastern?
Oh, Nash, yeah.
And then he hit the walk-off grand slam.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, he got lucky. I saw him and he said that nothing was broken. So that was awesome. I was taking my dog outside. I saw him and I was like, you really don't look that bad to have gotten hit in the face that hard. But yeah. And then the walk-off was like a movie. That was awesome.
Yeah, I heard about it before I saw the video, and they said, dude, someone at Reinhardt just got hit in the face against Southeastern. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? Who threw it? And they said Colby, and I was like, the one that throws 100?
Yeah.
And that's all. Yeah, shout out Nash, man. Awesome moment. Sports.
I know, that's awesome.
Love it. Emily, so throughout the years, there's been some great pitchers in the AAC. Tell us about some of the arms that you faced, and let the country know about some of the top pitchers you faced in the AAC the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. So I have 5 years of experience facing these pitchers in the AAC. So we've seen a lot of them throughout the years. Annalise, she's at George Gwinnett now, but she was at Bryan her freshman year, and she's a fantastic pitcher. She's really good. And then Truett McConnell had Carly Hobbs. She graduated a couple years ago. She got pitcher of the year like every year she was here pretty much. So yeah, she was really good. And then Cheyenne Strong at Tennessee Wesleyan. She graduated last year. She was the tournament MVP. She always balled out at the tournament every year. So she was really awesome. Did not like hitting off her. So that was a challenge. But and then this year also, Truett has two great pitchers that we faced two of their pitchers, Kylie and Kendall. They're really good. We faced them last year as well. And then Tennessee Wesleyan has another pitcher, Bailey, this year. She's doing really good. And yeah, Sarah at Brunel, just a lot of great pitchers overall. So, and Johnson has really good pitching as well. So just, it's pretty tough. There's never an easy game in our conference, that's for sure. So really good pitching overall. And it's just fun. Makes you work hard to get a hit. So I enjoy it.
Really excited for those Reinhardt Johnson games. Those are going to be, there's going to be some fun.
Yeah,
fun
those will
ones
be
coming
big,
up.
really big games.
Yeah.
I tell you, just looking at, and we talked about this, some of the tournament coming up, which ones are going to be crazy, which ones could we see, like last year with like Avila, five seed, or Vanguard, a 5 seed, win the tournament. And I'm not saying that's going to happen in the AAC, but it just seems like the last couple of years, looking at it, it's been consistently a fun topsy-turvy tournament. Not necessarily something that maybe y'all want this year. Maybe y'all maybe go in as the favorites and win it. I'm sure that's the plan, but definitely one that will be a lot of fun. Coach, we mentioned earlier Georgia girls, on here. You've played in Georgia, you've coached in Georgia at the JUCO and then at the NAIA level. How would you describe the high school and travel softball scene in the Peach State right now?
There's definitely a lot of talent in softball or in Georgia, as you see. And I'm from South Georgia, so I can kind of like attest, right? There's honestly, Georgia has two different states, North Georgia and South Georgia, and that goes with the type of people that are just in them. I like to say South Georgia area, you have them homegrown, strong, cornbread fed type kids that are just can kill the ball, just strong and scrappy and just play the game hard. Whereas North Georgia kids, like when you recruit them, they're fundamentally sound. They know the game. They play it hard, but they're smooth. So it's definitely two different types. And that's great because as a coach, you get to recruit and you get to see what your hole is, and you can go anywhere in Georgia and feel that. But just know that you have to coach North Georgia kids and South Georgia kids a little differently. And that's why great coaches are great when they can adjust to those type of kids and coach them as they need to be coached. But yes, they're very different. And that's what I like about recruiting in Georgia. You can get whatever you need. You just got to go out and find it.
I know a lot of states still kind of have, like down here in Florida, you got the Miami versus the Polk County versus the Panhandle. Let me tell y'all something. That line that's drawn just there above, I'd say just above Columbus, right around that LaGrange area, and you can just go all the way to the coast. That is North Georgia and South Georgia. That is two separate states. When it comes to sports and high school, Georgia high school sports,
it's crazy, ain't it? No one understands.
You get I've seen bigger rivalries in like some North Georgia versus South Georgia teams than just normal rivalries. We had some good stuff at Lee County. Some good stuff at Lee County. We'd have the kind of like warm up dry fit shirts, and they'd have DSGB on them and just say Down South Georgia Boys. I think I probably got one somewhere.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah. We're fired up. We got some South Georgia hardware right there too. Couple of them. Come on. Gosh, both of those won against South Georgia teams. All I'm saying. Now I really enjoy just kind of talking about Georgia high school football, and people are like, how big is it? And I'll just pull up the facilities, the high school football facility. You went to Rockmart. Rockmart's good little high school football school.
Yeah, we made it to the state championship my senior year, so that was awesome. And we're 2A. We're really small within Georgia, and we have a huge new weight room that got built when I was there, and our football stadium's big and really nice. So
Is that
I got
the
lucky. I went to a really nice high school, so it was awesome.
was your senior year 2018?
19. I graduated in 2019.
29, but the season was the season
Yeah,
2018
season was
season?
2018.
Up
Yeah.
there in the bins they were playing?
Yep.
Where I was playing there too. We played Northside Warner Robins for the state championship that
Oh,
year.
Wow.
I didn't know. That's awesome.
Yep. Out there punting on the bins. I ain't gonna lie. First time I looked up on the field and I saw like the Halo scoreboard, I was like, huh. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Little intimidating.
Breathtaking.
Coach, we asked, I asked Emily earlier just about the Eagle athletic department and being able to go to the games and everything. For a coach going in, Reinhardt, multiple teams at the top of the NAIA. How exciting is it for you to be a coach in the Eagle athletic department right now?
Oh, it's been so awesome to join them and kind of see what they do. You know, we have bi-weekly meetings. So I get to see all these coaches and kind of get to see them because, you know, our schedules, they're so crazy. But just getting to talk to them and getting to see, you know, like she said, all these teams are in the top of the AAC. So getting to talk to them and getting to, you know, learn from them and see what they do and stuff like that. It's been awesome. They're all just so welcoming and we like to have conversations. And I do enjoy getting to hear them have some same struggles I have. So it's like, all right, we're all good. It's just this generation's a little different, but we can do it. So it's always good to vent and stuff. But no, it's been great. These coaches here, it's a great program. Our athletic director is so supportive. Like it's a great program to join and get better and grow from.
Awesome. Yeah, love hearing. Like I heard from Coach Kent a couple episodes ago about him working with people in their athletic department. I mean, a lot can be learned from other coaches, and it's not you're not going to talk about what pitches to throw with the football coach or with whoever, but there's still philosophies and culture things that overlap in every sports. Next question is for both of you. Coach, will stay with you for the first part of it, but. Y'all have both been opening rounds. Won games. Went to Ashland. I went to Southern Oregon last year, right?
Yes.
Nice, fun little trip up there.
Yep.
South. That was weird. I was like, wait, so Southeastern and Reinhardt. That's pretty good little trip for.
I know. I was like a team from Georgia and Florida going to play in Oregon, but it was fun. So.
So both been opening round, one opening round games, become just short of making that short drive up to Columbus. Can you give your perspective on playing in opening round games? What makes them different than, obviously regular season, but even conference tournament games?
Opening round is like the environment of when you get there, it's like you remember that first day you stepped on campus in August and everything you worked for and everything you put into that year, you leave it on the field when you get to that opening round. And that's what you feel. It's that environment. It's literally everything you've done, everything you've been through. It was worth it. It was worth it because you're in that environment and you get to continue to build to that Columbus. And that's one thing that I'm so excited joining this program is none of us have been to Columbus. So that's something that we were really big on in the fall is like, do one more push up for Columbus, hold that plank longer for Columbus, one more sprint for Columbus. It's all about getting there. And that's something that I think all of us are on the same page of is building where we left off and getting to that next step and making it to Columbus. So it's leaving it on the field. That's where we're ready to get there, but we still have some business to handle till then.
Right. And Emily, for you, senior year, like last chance to go get after it for you with the opening round experience. I can tell us a little bit about it and some of your opening round stories.
Yeah, so I've been twice. We went once it was my sophomore year. We hosted. And then last year we went to Oregon. So both times we came up short, but I feel like overall it's helped me learn exactly how to approach an opening round. So going into it, honestly, it's pretty nerve-wracking because you know that if you don't go out there and win, then your season's over. So it's like as blunt as that is, it's just you have to know that as a player and just give 100% and leave nothing on the field, leave with no regrets. And also don't put too much pressure on yourself because if you do that, you'll be pressing for hits and pressing to make those plays. And then at least me personally, when I do that, that's when I do worse. So just relax and just play our game because we're there for a reason. We wouldn't be there if we didn't deserve it. So just play your game and do what you can do. And then hopefully this year it will result in a trip to Columbus, because it's not too far, just right down the road. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, there's I can say there's no bad teams when you get opening round. There's no bad teams. Obviously, a lot of good, fundamentally sound teams. Obviously, last year was the first year of going into a softball opening round. It's a different vibe. Obviously, the World Series is its own. I mean, it's like, okay, here we go. Lose to you, lose to you. Don't lose to. You're in the history books. But in the opening round, I just remember last year going up to GGC, and just the vibe with St. Mary of the Woods College as a 4th seed, looking to do something. Indiana Tech with the big upset on the first day against Coastal Georgia, and then GGC just on a tear, but I mean was tested in all of their games. It was electric to be around. I can't wait to get back to an opening round, but it's also like, whoa, slow down. I don't want it to be June yet. I don't. It's weird. It's like I want it to be June. Want a little bit of relaxation, but I'm like, hold on, no. We need more softball. Need more NAIA softball. But with the different recent experiences in the opening round, Coach, what would you say kind of the big focus for a team heading into the opening round has to be?
It's pretty much like she said, is like, don't press, like know that everything you've done leading up to this moment has prepared you for it. So trust in what you do, and trust in each other, and work for each other. And that's something like she's already, complimented this group on, of being well with this. They work for each other, they fight for each other, they're for each other. So if we can keep those vibes and keep that mentality and handle the pressure like that, I think it would be a very successful, opportunity for us to get to Columbus. It's just handling those vibes. That's a hard thing to do in an emotional sport, with a game that sets you up for failure. So, but we're working on it every day, and we're excited for it.
I've said it 100 times. The baseball and softball too, but for me, just playing wise as an athlete, just the fact of you could do everything right, square it up, perfect, and then out, or barely hit it and get that. The whole mental side of baseball and softball, I was like, I've said this before. I liked football. If I kicked the ball good, it went far. If I kicked the ball bad, it didn't go far. It was usually pretty simple. It's like black and white. I like that. But hey, like you said, it's a mental game, mentally tough. Can't think about softball 24/7, even during the middle of the season. So want to ask both of you, Emily, start with you. What do you do to take your mind off softball? Like, what's the mental flush, mental relax, and just get right?
So I have my dog Winnie. I love her. Coach Hewitt's a big dog person also. So I feel like both of us spend time with dogs and everything like that. But I like being outside, just going on. We have a nice lake around our campus. So going on walks with our dogs around campus. My roommates, we have 4 dogs in our room. So we're like a zoo. So we really like taking them outside and playing and stuff like that. And just going on hikes. Me and my roommates, actually, we went caving not too long ago. So we like to do fun stuff like that. Just get your mind off softball. So as much as it's fun to be at softball, you got to clear your head sometimes.
Have you been to the Little Grand Canyon yet?
I have not. No, I need to.
Dude, I haven't either. Lived in South Georgia my whole life. Have not been to the Little Grand Canyon. I gotta go. That is, as soon as the season is, actually, I might just day after Columbus, might just pick up, just drive. All right, let's check this off. Coach, what about you? Obviously, the mental side, be a big toll coaching. What do you do? Kind of just sit back and relax.
I wish I could turn my brain off. It doesn't really leave softball much. But like you said, I have a Great Dane and an overweight Chihuahua, so I take them out and we do a lot of stuff. And shopping. I like to go buy shoes. Anytime we lose, I go buy a new pair of shoes and feel better.
So we haven't had to buy too many shoes this year, at least.
I'm good.
Okay, so usually this last question here, something Carly's brought on, been a lot of fun. We've been ending interviews with. I'll take over and ask it. Taking a little road trip, maybe heading up to Tennessee or wherever we're heading. Got to stop at the gas station. What we getting? What's the gas station order?
Go ahead. So I usually get one of these, the Starbucks little coffees in the bottles. That's like a guaranteed every single time. And then it's just depends on what I'm feeling. Sometimes I get the hot fries. Sometimes I get like cheddar Chex Mix. It really is kind of random. It really just depends on what I'm feeling on the day. Laffy Taffy, that's a big one.
That was last
What
night.
flavor? What flavor? What flavor Laffy Taffy?
So yesterday I got the mystery flavor, but I usually like the strawberry and the grape. That's my favorite.
No blue raspberry.
I stick to the originals, the strawberry and the grape. Those are my favorite.
Fair enough. Respect. Good ones. Good ones. That passes. That passes. Coach Hewitt, what are we rocking with at the gas station?
Cheat days, I'll get me a powdered donuts pack and a soda.
Yes.
Yeah, those are always fun.
Those are good. They're great orders. Great orders. Like we need to get a little board. Rearrange the background. Get a little board
Yeah.
and start keeping up with them.
That'd be awesome.
Go through them. But all right. Well, Coach Hewitt, Emily, great having y'all on. Really excited. Rest of the season. Best of luck. A lot of fun ending to the AAC. Stack up some wins. Big ones against Johnson. Everybody else, happy Friday. Y'all hope y'all enjoyed the episode and enjoy softball. A lot of great softball. Again. Anything else y'all want to add? Anything else or all good?
Nope, thank you.
Go Eagles.
Yep.
Go Eagles. All right.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep. Y'all have a good one.